Good morning, good morning. Hello, everybody. I am Claricia Myers, better known as Reese by many of my friends,
Good morning, and I'm Roland Myers.
my better half. Every morning we come and share a few nuggets with our audience about things that can help them in your personal life or in your business life. And so this morning, well, before I go any further, I want to say welcome, spiritual entrepreneurs. I'm speaking to anyone out there who is a spiritual entrepreneur. Could be teacher, could be um, someone out in any walk of life, any career choice. Good morning, Henry. Good morning. Glad that you can join us this morning.
Yes.
So, as you know, I've been reading the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Good morning to you. Good morning. Somebody just joined and I couldn't quite see the face. There, Cousin Jay from Chicago. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving break. I know Roland and I did.
We had a great time.
Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time on the road. I think was it Thursday. We popped in and said Happy Thanksgiving. We went on up the road to the Maryland area. Spent a day, then drove back down to Suffolk to be with my daughter. This was her first time being away from family, so we spent a little time with her. And so we spent quite a bit of time on the road between Thursday and last night.
That's right.
Yes, we got it last night. Anyway, like I said, I've been reading the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I've been reading a section on leadership. I shared on Friday, on Wednesday and Tuesday, the things that leaders ought to do, But then now I'm going to share some things that can be detrimental to a leader in terms of failure. And even if you fail, it's just a period of time for defeat, because you can always regroup and fix whatever had gone wrong. So there are 10 different tips to guide anyone who's a leader. And that's one thing Roland and I were talking about. Some people feel that, oh, I'm a leader, I have arrived. We should never, ever take that attitude, because life, once there's life, we're constantly evolving, we're changing, we should be improving. So never take that stance that, oh, I am there.
There's always somewhere else to go.
That's right. Always somewhere else to go. We have to keep that in mind. As I was reading, Napoleon brought out that he says that there are two types of leaderships. One is a leader who leads by consent of and with the sympathy of the followers. In other words, someone who's leading, the followers have to kind of consent to allowing that person to lead. Sometimes you have no choice. But, people will work with you, whatever challenges that you may have, because it's not just you, it's the group, your organization. And they will work with you through it, and they will give their all, depending on the type of leader you are. So that's leadership by consent of and with the sympathy of the followers. The second, you want to say something about that?
Yeah, I've seen situations where you have leaders, but nobody's following them. Kind of like Washington. There's leaders where nobody's following them. So that's very important. You got to have a following.
That's right. That's so true. The second type of leadership is leadership by force. Now, people will not follow forced leadership indefinitely. They will either say, okay, that's enough for me, and they'll go somewhere else. Or they may even do their own thing. So leadership by force, it never works. The only one that does work is leadership by consent. And according to Napoleon Hill, he says it's the only type of leadership that can endure whatever comes your way. Good morning, Madeline Rose. Good morning. Thank you. Madeline says, good morning to both of you. May God continue to bless you always.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning, Madeline. And tell us where you're tuning in from, Madeline. Then we have Dumil. Thank you for joining us this morning, Dumil. And there is Good morning, Liz. Good morning. Glad that you can introduce Liz Bellows. You know who that is? You do?
No,
Oh,
put me on the
oh,
spot
okay,
like
all
that,
right,
man.
all right. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to do that, Roland. Okay, and then I do that all the time. Good morning, William. Good morning.
Sidetrack.
And Gentry. Good morning, Gentry. Sweet thing. Thank you. God bless you too. So I'm talking about leadership and what constitutes. I spoke about what constitutes good leaders, but now we're talking about what can be pitfalls or what can cause failure in leadership. All right, so we know that there are two types of leaderships: the one that leads by consent, and the other that leads by force. Now, there are 10 different tips or pitfalls that leaders ought to avoid. I'm not going to go through all 10. I'm just going to share 5 of them with you. The first one is to be able to organize and master details. You know, for any organization to function properly and to accomplish their goals, the leader has to be organized and pay attention to detail. Good leaders sometimes want to think they can do everything or need to do everything, but no, they need to delegate tasks to those who are following them, you know, and at the same time, if there is a shortfall, be willing to pick up the slack. You know, that is so important.
Yeah.
And that leads right into the second one, number 2, an unwillingness to render humble service. Oh my, you know, there's some people who, well, you know, I'm the leader. That part of that work, that's below me, and they're too proud and too, for lack of a better word, stuck up. You know, good leaders need to be humble and to be of service. I was thinking, Roland, the other day at my church now, the pastor of my church, you know, when we have fellowship dinners, sometimes there may be a lack of somebody who's not there to maybe serve the food along the line. Mm-hmm. You know, you would think, oh, well, call this person and that person. But our pastor would just pick up and he would, you know, put on his gloves and he would be right in there serving with the other folks. And I thought, you know, that was quite commendable. He's willing to humble, and that's what we should be. We should be provide humble service and not think that we're too proud. And
because normally, you know, we serve him, and his wife jumps in there and serve as well. They're right there on the serving line. So, you know, that really speaks volumes about him.
That's right.
I have never seen that.
True, because usually, and those, not the leader, the pastor of the church, he gets right in there, and that made me think of one of our leaders, our past president. I remember seeing him at the soup kitchens, you know, serving, humble service. Nothing is below you, below me. We're not too proud to do that. All right, number 3, expectation of pay for what they know. You know, that's a big failure in leadership. Some people, you know what, I have my degree, I have my PhD, I am a doctor, I have, you know, and expecting to be compensated because of what you know. That's not how society works. You're compensated for what you do. That's just the way it is. And having that attitude of me doesn't get you very far. Yeah. Number 4, fear of competition from followers. When was it? Earlier this year, I saw this commercial showing a gentleman. I have it posted somewhere on my page. I'll have to go find it and repost it. This guy, dedicated. He put like 10 hours a week or more on his job, and he was doing so well. Everyone liked him, and he was just shining, up and coming. But his immediate boss, took that as a sign of competition, and so he called the young man in and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, what you're doing is not valued or something," and told him pretty much, you're fired. So that gentleman, he was crushed. You can see it all on his face. He left, he went home, but he was not the type that would sit and twiddle his thumbs. He had all these bright ideas. He had all these great ideas for making the job better. He put that to work for himself. And in a year, he had now owned the building or the company where his immediate manager worked or something like that. So that was like, oh my goodness. We are never, we should never fear competition, because what we should do is welcome it, because a good leader has to be able to duplicate themselves. So if someone is up and coming, you go ahead.
I was going to say, as a leader too, you really want to make sure you have wisdom and insight. So you need to know where your blessings are coming from.
Right.
Your blessings may not be coming from you. It may be coming from some of the people that you're leading.
That's right.
So you need to tap into that. We as leaders need to tap into that.
And some people, some of your followers maybe, or who work with you, they give their all. They have ideas and they bring it to the table, and it can bless your business, make it grow. Instead of looking at competition as, oh no, let me keep them down, push them.
Yeah. Initiative isn't a bad thing.
Right.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Oh my, some people came on here. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning. Glad that you can join us. Good morning. And I think I missed some other folk who came on here. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Adriel. Good morning, Rolita. And from Toledo, Ohio. You know what? I generally don't say where I'm from. I ask people to tell me where they're tuning in from, and I'm not telling you where I'm from. Roland and I, we're tuning in, or we're coming to you live from Richmond, Virginia. This is his home. My home is home is St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and I have now retired with Roland here in Virginia. All right, so I've talked about the first 4: organize and master details. 2, an unwillingness to render humble service. 3, expectation of pay for what they know rather than for what they do. 4, fear of competition from followers. Again, we should welcome that as an opportunity to multiply or duplicate yourself, so that it works for efficiency, because you can't be in more than one place at one time. Well, with technology, we're learning to do that, but this is a way that you can help your business to grow. And number 5, lack of imagination. Oh my, sometimes emergencies may arise on your job or your business or whatever you're doing, and you need to be able to think quickly on your feet, provide solutions. And if you don't know it, you know how to tap into those who are around you, where you can solve whatever problems, have imagination. Every single, I was reading about Post-it notes. Someone came across that sticky glue, but it didn't really stick quite right. And at first, who wants a piece of paper with, it doesn't even do anything? And I can't even think of the names of the people who came up with the idea. But everything that we do, the microwave, took imagination. You think it, and someone who's dedicated, they stick with it because they know it's going to work. That's where you're tapping into the infinite, tapping into the infinite, which is a higher being.
Let me
God.
put this out here too, before we go. If we have any military leaders out there that want to share, please type in your comments, because I would love to hear what the folks that actually went through some type of leadership training will have to say, and just see how different it is or how much alike it is.
You're talking about leadership, in our communities. We have people who lead in different ways, helping to solve problems. Like, take, for example, our law enforcement. leadership. Oh, I'm just going to bring it back to leadership. Good leadership. And sometimes we can't just expect someone else to train us on something. We have to take initiative and find out and lead for ourselves, to be a good leader. So when you arrive in a leadership role, don't ever take the stance that I have arrived, I don't need to do anything, because we have to constantly evolve and change and try to become better, become better leaders. So those are the 5 tips that I have for you. There are 5 more. I'm going to share those tomorrow. Yeah. So I wanted to also let you know that today starts the first day in my 5-day Facebook Live challenge. There's some people who want to be able to do Facebook Lives, but for whatever reason. And so I have a group, and if you're interested in joining this group, you have until noon today to let me know, and I will send you the link so that you can be a part of this 5-day Facebook Live challenge. All right. And so put Facebook Live in the comments down below. The second thing I wanted to let you know is that in the comments, there is a link to Facebook Live training. So you can download that and use that to help you. So that's what we have for you this morning. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll be again with you live at 8 o'clock. We come Monday through Friday at 8. So make today powerful. I forgot to come back and see. There's several others who came on. Good morning, Stedman. Good morning. Oh, before I forget, do share this out. If you have gained any value at all, share it out, because someone else might benefit from this as well. And also, good morning, Toby. Good morning. Glad that you can join us this morning. And this is Roland. I don't know if you've ever met Roland. Good morning, Dennis. And we will see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So make today powerful, make it on purpose, and you be awesome. Enjoy your day. Bye.